Marie, what are you going to be talking about this evening?
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Ford Ecoboost engine failure investigation. Sorry. So in several months, we saw a few inquiries, including a high voltage battery connector recall for the Ford Mustang Mach-E, and two recalls about the powertrain control module. And the rear axle mounting bolt for the Ford Explorer, Ford EcoBoost, EcoSport. Sorry, I'm not reading the right thing. So now the new engine issue touched more of the Bronco models equipped with the
2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost. Yeah, and recently we also had the recall, which we'll talk about in a little bit, the recall on the Super Duties, which caused a delivery hold as well.
Yeah, and in this investigation, they said that it's involving the Blue Oval plant, so it came from there. They estimate that it will touch 708,000.
708,000.
Thank you.
And if you stop moving the sheet, I'll be able to read that. So 708,837 examples. So those are 2.7 liters that are from 2021 to 2022. So this could affect, basically any vehicle that has the 2.7 liter. So the National Highway Traffic Safety Association is investigating. It's a potential of touching 708,000 vehicles. And I'll give you, the real deal once Marie fully explains what's going on with this. And if you do want to read up on this, a fantastic article written by Brett Foote over at Ford Authority did a great job writing an article on this. But I'm going to conclude from, real insider information so you don't get fooled. Because I actually had someone who's currently driving a Jeep who is horribly sad that they didn't buy a Bronco like ours. They got a green Jeep, Sergeant's Green Jeep Wrangler, and they're disappointed because they didn't get it because, guess what? Big media told them that the 2.7 liter engine was complete hot garbage. And being that she's not, a huge auto enthusiast, she had to just believe the hearsay. So I'll let you fully flesh it out. Sorry.
That's perfect. And it will affect either the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost or the 3.0 liter V6 EcoBoost. Most on 2021-2022s for Bronco, Edge, Explorer, F-150, and the Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus. So what will happen with that thing? You could probably experience a loss of power without warning. And when it happens, you may also have trouble to restart due to catastrophic engine failure. So it's not a funny one.
Yeah, so far from the article, so if you go on Ford Authority regularly, fantastic media source. There'll be other media sources, though, that won't be so fantastic because they'll really emphasize on hey, this could be touching any of these 708,000 vehicles, could have their engine blow up. Some media sources are definitely going to be pushing home. They're going to try to hit a home run, taking a huge swing, and they're just going to try to hit a home run with this and get as many clicks, as much of your attention on their news article because of this. But we'll get to the real deal in just a moment.
And they found the cause. So at the Blue Oval, they said that's the valve that they made there. They were producing it using silichrome light technology. And they said that they switched part after that for silichrome 1, which is less susceptible to have this problem.
Despite the inferior name of silichrome 1 from Silchrome, despite the inferior name, it's supposed to be a superior metal. So basically, when they were making Silchrome, the original valves, they were making them at very high temperatures. And now they know that later on, that process, under certain circumstances, can cause engine failure. So Ford has admitted to that. They haven't admitted to it. came out saying it. They're very open about it.
But the good news in that, it's don't worry if it didn't happen yet to you. Maybe you'll be fine because it said they said that the defective valve tend to fail early in the life of the engine. We talk about a few hundred or 1,000 miles.
So congratulations
most of you
to Brett.
will already know it.
Yeah. So congratulations to Brett Foote for adding that important note, because I can tell you as an insider. So here's the don't be fooled part. So please, before I get to the don't be fooled part, hit that thumbs up button. Share this with someone that needs to know this information, and please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any information, so that you don't get fooled. Now, Marie, I need your help to remind me to switch to the proper slide for this show. So let's get down to business, get some Bronco photos in here, and get to, the real deal behind this. So there's our Ford Bronco. We love it. My dealership has sold so many 3-liter Ecoboost V6s. We've sold so many 2.7 liters. And guess what? They've been absolutely fantastic engines. And, we're just one dealer, but we haven't had any of these valves blow up. And I can attest, I promise you, when Ford says that the damage gets done in the first few hundred or 1,000, not hundreds of thousands of miles, but 0 to 1,000 miles or 2,000 or 3,000 miles, that's absolutely true, because so far there's been roughly between 50 to 55 known cases of these valves malfunctioning, causing catastrophic engine failure, but they've all been under 10,000 miles, and the huge majority of them are right around the 3,000 to 3,500 mark. I'd say that's about where the majority is, because there's a few over 5,000 miles, very few, and a lot of them do really occur under 1,000 miles. So likely the problem will have already occurred. So we're not worried. We've already owned two 2.7 liter Broncos. They're off. They haven't had any issue. My dealership hasn't had any 2.7 liter engine valves or 3-liter engine valves go. At the end of the day, when all is said and done and the dust settles, of the 708,837 potential vehicles, units that the NHTSA is looking into. So sorry, I always get the letters mixed up. NHTSA, yes, that they're investigating. I'm suspecting we're going to be well below 1,000 units that will have had this problem. And I actually think we're probably going to be under 100 or 150. So of all those units, it's an incredibly small problem. It happens right early on. Haven't had any of them happen over 10,000 miles as far as I know. And if that changes, I will obviously update you all. But remember, the engine warranty is for 5 years and 100,000 kilometers. So 60 or 65,000 miles in the United States, 100,000 kilometers or 5 years. And remember, it's always one or the other. If you do your full 60, 65,000 miles in the first year, 100,000 kilometers in the first year, well, you'll have used up the full warranty, because it's mileage or kilometers or the number of years. So very important to know, this truly is not going to be an issue. And obviously it's a huge issue if it happens to you. You're going to lose your vehicle for a couple of weeks, but you're going to drive away with a brand new engine that doesn't have this valve issue. I highly suspect this was just one small bad batch of valves created within a very short time period, and this is why it has affected so few vehicles. So that covers our Ford Bronco news that absolutely needed to be known, because you need to keep your eye on that. Thank you very much, Ridgeview, for encouraging people to hit the thumbs up button. So thank you very much. So what do you think? Do you have a Ford? If you're in the chat here, or if you're watching this instead of watching it live, if you're watching this as a short little episode standing on its own, before walking away from this and watching another video, please drop your comments. Do you own a 2.7 liter? First of all, have you had an issue? Have you had any issues? And if you haven't owned a 2.7 liter engine from either a Bronco or an F-150. Do you think this is as big of an issue as the media is going to let on to believe? The type of articles that are going to be written, the type of YouTube videos that are going to be made are going to discourage people from buying, you know, a Ford Bronco or a Ford F-150, and they'll end up with what? A highly reliable Jeep Wrangler or Jeep Gladiator? I like those vehicles, but they're not highly reliable. The reliable doesn't end in this, it should be in the same sentence. We've known too many people to have transmission issues with those models. So let us know what you think. Please drop a comment and stay tuned. Watch one of our upcoming videos by just clicking over here when it gets suggested if you're not watching this as live. And if you are watching a live, well, stay tuned because we've got more great information coming right up. Marie, thank you for letting us know about that. I'm always thrilled to have you beside me and keeping me on track